Hi everyone, it's Joe here at KE Consulting, and today I'm going to walk you through simple warehousing. This follows on from our overview of warehousing video, where I went through different levels of warehousing, and this video is going to be focused entirely on our simple warehousing level. So in this level, we're just going to use locations and bins, and we won't be using any picks or put away documents. So all stock is going to be managed through purchase orders and sales orders, or through stock adjustment in journals. We could also use zones in here, but I'm going to save that for higher levels of warehousing. In this setup, we're going to have default bins for our items. And if you haven't done this before, I highly recommend watching our bins and default bin setup video, as this will explain it all properly in preparation for this video. So to begin, let's open up locations. So just go into locations here and click the link. In here, I've made a location called Joe Simple Warehouse. If we go into here, we can see the settings that I've set up for this warehouse. So first off, I've got bin mandatory ticked, and this is because we're going to be using bins to store our items in. Lower down, I've got some other bin settings, but this is all covered in our bins and default bins video. So again, I'd watch that if you don't know anything about this. So back at the top, we can open bins, and in here, we've got two bins. We've got the JSW bin 1 and JSW bin 2. So if we go into bin 1 and look at the contents, so in here I've got item 1908 and I've ticked default as this is its default bin. Again, all the explanations for default and fixed are in our bins video. So if we look in bin 2 as well, we can see that I have item 1908 in here again, but this time it's not the default bin, it's just fixed. And I've also got item 1900 as its default bin. So if we go back out of here and back to our location, what we can do is go into warehouse employees, and we can see I've added myself as a user, and this is going to allow us to do warehouse activities. Also, for using a location, we're going to need our inventory posting setup done. So in here, we're just assigned the GL accounts that will be used for each inventory posting group code for this location. So that's all the setup done for simple warehousing. So let's use it and see how it all works. So first off, let's just imagine we're purchasing some items from a vendor that we want to store in our warehouse JSW. So let's create a purchase order for these items. So I'll go into purchase orders, press new, and let's add a vendor that we're ordering from. We're also going to need a vendor invoice number. Obviously, I'm doing a demo, so I'm just going to make one up for this. And then we can go down to our lines and add the items that we're ordering. First off, let's add item 1908. So I put 1908 in here. We're then going to add the warehouse that we're ordering it to. So it's JSW. Enter that. And you'll see that the bin code is automatically filled in because of our default bin setup. So next, let's add item 1900. Same again, we'll put in the warehouse. And this time you can see it's a different bin again because of the default bin setup. So we also need a quantity that we're ordering. So let's just order 10 of each. And now this is all sorted. So when we post the receive part of this purchase order, the stock will be updated and we'll have all of these items stored in our bins. So if we click post, we can see we've either got receive, invoice, or receive and invoice. And receive is what's going to add it to stock, and invoice is what's going to finish posting the purchase order. So let's press receive and invoice to do both. And now if we return to our location and we'll have a look in our bins, we should be able to see that our stock has been updated. Open bins, open our first bin, and look, now we can see 1908 has 10 in stock. And if we go in our other bin, we can see we've got 10 in stock of 1900. So that is how straightforward it is for receiving items. So now let's imagine we're selling some items. So I'm going to create a sales order. So let's go into sales orders. We'll press new. And we'll pick a customer. Let's go with this. And then again, in our lines, let's enter 1900 item. We want that. And below it, we're going to have 1908. Now in location code, we're going to enter our JSW warehouse. And you can see, again, it's suggested to use the default bin that we've set up. And again, watch our default bin video for explanation on this. If we put JSW in this one, from this, we can see the other bin has been suggested. Again, now this time we want to sell 5 of each of these, and this is all ready. So now when we post this, it will update the stock in our bins. So if we press post, we can either ship, and this will just change the stock, or we can invoice to post the whole sales order. So I'm just going to do ship and invoice. So now if we return to our location and have a look in the bins, we should be able to find that the stock has been updated. So again, JSW, bins, open the contents. You can now see we got 5 in here instead of 10. And in here, same again, we got 5 instead of 10. So the stock's been updated. So that's all there is to simple warehousing. It's nice and straightforward and easy to use. And this could be useful if you have a small warehouse that you can keep on top of easily without extensive tracking in Business Central. Basic or advanced warehousing may be more beneficial to you if you need a better process for keeping track of inventory, as both use different kinds of documents to confirm movements of items.